Okay, Proverbs 23. When you sit to dine with a ruler, note well what is before you, and put a knife to your throat if you are given to gluttony. Do not crave his delicacies, for that food is deceptive. Do not wear yourself out to get rich. Have the wisdom to show restraint. Cast but a glance at riches, and they are gone. For they will surely sprout wings and fly off to the sky like an eagle. Do not eat the food of a stingy man. Do not crave his delicacies, for he is the kind of man who is always thinking about the cost. Eat and drink, he says to you, but his heart is not with you. You will vomit up the little you have eaten and will have wasted your compliments. Do not speak to a fool, for he will scorn the wisdom of your words. Do not move an ancient boundary stone or encroach on the fields of the fatherless, for their defender is strong. He will take up their case against you. Apply your heart to instruction and your ears to the words of knowledge. Do not withhold discipline from a child. If you punish him with the rod, he will not die. Punish him with the rod and save his soul from death. And my son, if your heart is wise, then my heart will be glad. My inmost being will rejoice when your lips speak what is right. Do not let your heart envy sinners, but always be zealous for the fear of the Lord. There is surely a future hope for you, and your hope will not be cut off. Listen, my son, and be wise, and keep your heart on the right path. Do not join those who drink too much wine or gorge themselves on meat, for drunkards and gluttons become poor, and drowsiness clothes them in rags. Listen to your father who gave you life, and do not despise your mother when she is old, but buy the truth and do not sell it. Get wisdom, discipline, and understanding. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick pause here because there's a lot we went over. And again, what I'm getting to it, so I'm just going to read this portion again. And there's something I'm getting from this. Do not eat the food of a stingy man. Do not crave his delicacies, for he is the kind of man who is always thinking about the cost. Eat and drink, he says to you, but his heart is not with you. You will vomit up the little you have eaten and will have wasted your compliments. So immediately what I get from this is shallowness, people of vanity, people who have to have some type of whether it be wealth or fame or fortune or what have you, and how it can be tempting, especially seeing that you may feel, or we may feel that all of their needs are taken care of, and that may not be the case. That may be far from the truth. And as you can see, the Lord's given us an example. He's saying, do not eat the food of a stingy man. Do not crave his delicacies, for he is the kind of man who is always thinking about the cost. Exactly. So a person that doesn't even want to give to the poor, not want to help or assist with other areas because they're all conceited. There are, whether it be narcissistic or what have you. And so what we're getting is you're seeing that, and you may just be looking at the good things, but you're not seeing the whole picture. Now that comes also to the whole picture when it comes to this, what I'm going to get back into, because obviously we're going to have to get back into it right now. Do not withhold discipline from a child. If you punish him with the rod, he will not die. Punish him with the rod and save his soul from death. Okay, so in the Old Testament, again, this was guidance to Israel, guidance to family, guidance to Oh, the community, guidance to the people, guidance all the way down to the family. And that is to correct a situation. If need be, then there may be some type of discipline. Now, what we think about it in our minds, even as well today, is we don't understand. We start taking in our own thoughts and feelings. We start taking in our own morals instead of relying on the Lord and listening to, because we don't see the whole story. We don't see the whole thing. And so once again, there may be some time of discipline when it has to do with trying to correct a situation. And that could be from a family to a community to a whole group of people. So we have to really think about that. And are we relying on our own thoughts and feelings and what we believe, or are we asking God and obtaining his guidance? Because consequences can happen, and those consequences are major and could be way more or avoided with a little bit of discipline, with the discipline. And so right here, by being disciplined, we can avoid not giving into or not associating, not being tempted and not falling into temptation. Do not eat the food with a stingy man, because you will vomit up the little you have eaten and will have wasted your compliments. There is so much here. There is so much here. And bringing past to present, remember, don't rely on our own understanding. Rely on the Lord and his guidance. Take everything to the Lord. Take it all to the Lord. How, even in families, even in communities, how should this action be corrected? Lord, provide us guidance. And he will do it. Trust and believe he will do it. If he hadn't already done it, if he hadn't already started. A lot of times we don't see that. We don't see that. And Lord's just waiting for us to ask him so he can reveal. Many time and time again, the Lord has already done the action and we just don't know. And so he's waiting for us, like standing there like, now I know they're going to ask me. They're going to say, hey, I need to rely on the Lord. I need to rely on you, Lord. And I'm going to tell them. Now I'm just having to wait. And so, because the Lord, he's timeless. He already knows what's going to happen. But, he also likes, he allows for time to happen. He created it. So he's waiting for us to say something to him and be guided by him. Before we go on, what kind of thoughts or feelings come to your mind when we read over this? How does it make you feel and what does it make you think?